Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly video. So today's video is actually about a sketch that's very enjoyable, very fun, difficult at the same time, and also had a bit of a mishap towards the end that I'll explain in a little bit. But before we get to that, let's talk about the 3 comments that I've picked for this video. And again, I want to keep thanking you guys for watching every single time. It's going to get repetitive. I'm going to say this every single video, and maybe one day you guys get tired of it. But in my opinion, I really want to be able to thank the viewers consistently, no matter who they are, how long you've been around, what comment you made. To me, the engagement that I get from you guys is more enjoyable every single time, and every single time I upload, every time I open up the YouTube Studio app, I see a lot of comments being supportive, being fun, being enjoying, being critical, regardless of what it is. I always enjoy seeing it. So no matter how tired you guys get of me saying thank you or thank you for watching and all that stuff, I will always be sure to know and show my appreciation for every single viewer. Now let's get into talking about the mishap, because I think I want to get this out of the way. The mishap that happened this week was that when I typically draw, I go through a lot of steps. I go through a initial sketch, which is very messy, very scritchy scratchy, all over the place, and then I kind of refine it with a secondary sketch, typically using a thicker line, and then I go and just kind of make sure I get the correct shapes, kind of maybe draw the face, give a better outline, probably get like an outfit in there, you know. Typically it tightens everything up and gives a clear message of what it's supposed to be in the end game. And then my final step is going in with a thinner line work, because manga line work tends to be very thin. I typically set my pen to 0.7 or 0.8, and then I finally truly get everything done, no scritches, no scratches, and then finally I put in like screen tones and stuff at the very end if I ever get to that, if I ever want to. Sadly, when I was recording, I got step 1 and step 2, but I did not get step 3. I did not get to record the final line piece. So for that segment, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of kind of like the steps I went through, because I have photos and layers, obviously, because when I separate the drawings, I have layers. So you can kind of still see a step-by-step process, but you're not going to see like a speed drawing of it, of the flow of the work. So for now though, let's go talk about the framework and my idea for this piece. I really want to get a foreshortening piece done. I draw a lot of standing poses, I draw a lot of like sitting down poses, very simple poses that aren't as difficult, or they don't interact with the environment as often, and I'm getting tired of them. I really want to start drawing more environments, and I want to start drawing my pieces or subjects within a background or a setting that makes sense, or at least have something to interact with, so the piece is a lot more eye-catching and more whole, like kind of like a whole composition rather than just one singular piece waiting to be injected into something. So for now though, I decided, you know what, let's not do the background right away. Let's take a break. Let's try to figure out how to draw better backgrounds, learn some perspective, 2-way, 3-way, fisheye, 1-point perspective. I did 1-point perspective for the manga drawing, and I had a lot of fun of it, but it was a lot of work. So instead of jumping right into that, I decided I'm going to hold that off for a week, maybe 2, learn a little bit more about it, and jump into foreshortening, which is pretty much taking the character in your framework that you already know, and then giving the illusion of reaching out. Pretty much, it's giving the illusion of, it's pretty much perspective using the human body, and I'm sure the definition of foreshortening actually encompasses a lot more than just specifically the human body. But when it comes to creating characters, it's kind of like when you're sticking your foot out, if you're going for a kick and you're sticking your foot out, or you're reaching your hand out, you know, it's different perspectives using the body part. So I thought, hey, I have this character from a D&D session that I want to redraw, and it'd be nice to put her in a cool action pose of her shooting off some lightning, and that's what I decided to go for. So yes, this drawing is trying out foreshortening, but it's also a redraw of an old piece, which I love to do because I just progress very quickly, and I enjoy being able to see the jump between it. You guys been through this. You guys have, I've done 2 redraw videos already, and here's technically another one, but we're gonna focus on mainly the foreshortening. And I would have to say it was quite difficult. It was very difficult to specifically draw the fingers, because whenever you draw and structure an arm, it's very simple. Tubes. You pretty much connect one tube to another using an elbow, and then your hand is practically just like a trapezoid or square that connects to your forearm and it juts out. But the problem with fingers is that there are 5 separate smaller tubes that are in separate segments, 3 segments, unless it's the thumb, which is 2 segments, and with the wrinkles and a lot of ways they can maneuver. So when you take that already difficult task to draw and insert it into foreshortening, which is putting in perspective, it becomes very jumbled, very difficult to say the least, and honestly a bit of a mess to work with. So all in all, this is, even though this is my first attempt, I'm not too happy with it, but I'm content with it staying there for now, because I went through 3 separate redraws, and I only hate specifically 2 of the fingers, which is, by the way, the character is kind of like holding like a sideways gun pose with her hand, like a handgun, you know, when you, except with one finger, it's 2 fingers, and she's holding it to the side. So it looks a little goofy to me, but it's not awful. So talking about that, let's show let's show the couple photos. I'm gonna show one photo of just the pure sketch, no shading, no electricity around the character. It's just purely the line art of the character. We're getting to phase 3 of my sketching process. So this is what it is, and you can see the fingers look a little off. Like, I think I did okay for the first time foreshortening the arm and the hand, but for the fingers, it looks really janky and wonky, and I don't think it expresses the idea of perspective and the fingers kind of going up to the viewer's eyes correctly. So I would like to fix that in the future. My second drawing will probably be with the screen tones and the shading, but still about the electricity. I want to remove the electricity when I'm showing these, is because it could be distracting sometimes, especially with the fine line right that I want people to see. So yeah, her hair color is black. I started putting more screen tones, and I still need to learn how to correctly use them in which scenarios and which ones to use. I actually mess with a couple of screen tones. I might even start working with custom screen tones to try to get like a good feel for it. Secondly, let's add back the electricity, and this is the final piece, in my opinion. This is the true final piece, where I have, and her name is Julia. I don't know if I mentioned that. The character is Julia in my friend's D&D session. She's kind of an NPC, not specifically any character that any player plays, but pretty much one in the background, and she's the hero of New York. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's like My Hero Academia. It's more like One Punch Man, but if each sector got designated a specific hero, right? And there's no big hero society or anything like that. It's like comic book setting superheroes where everyone has secret identities, and there's no like big school or anything like that. I guess it's closer to comic books than it is anime or manga. But regardless, this is what she is, and she's very fun, very enjoyable. So the final sketch, in my opinion, turned out fine. I enjoyed it. It isn't the best sketch I've ever done, but for trying a new concept and a new technique, I think I made a lot of progress in learning, and I only have more to go from here. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the drawing. If you guys have any critiques, it sounds like I'm ending the video, but I'm not. If you guys have any critiques, I would love to hear in the comments, because I'm still new to foreshortening, and I'm sure there's plenty out there that have drawn in different perspectives, especially those who draw backgrounds. I think they're more used to drawing perspectives, or at least have like a good framework of how it should look with cubes and spheres and tubes and cylinders and, you know, all those shapes and sizes. So it'd definitely be a step up to hear from a lot of other people. Now, finally, the thing I want to end off the video on is I do have more plans for Julia right here. I've recently sent my drawing to a friend of mine, and she is going to critique my drawing and send back a video. So we're not done with this week's video. There's the second, obviously every week has 2 videos. This second video is when we're going to return to the critique format. So she's right now, or tomorrow, it's 1 in the morning right now. So today, which will be tomorrow when I wake up, she's going to work on and critiquing, redlining, and fixing up, or like not fixing up, but giving me advice. And then on the next video, I will be taking that, because she'll be recording her process. I'll be taking that and reacting to the tips and advice she gives me, and she'll be giving her notes to me too. And then we're going to try to fix the drawing in maybe a live stream or maybe another video, probably next week's video. And we're going to try to fix it. So if you guys want to see that, it'd be great if you guys subscribed, or if you guys maybe come back to the channel. You don't have to subscribe. I don't really want to pressure anyone to subscribe. It's more like a process for me. This channel is really a process for me. So if you guys want to come back later, later on and see my process of listening to critique, hearing advice, and then my process of fixing artwork that needs a bit of a fix, right? So if you guys are interested in any of that, return to the channel whenever you want to, subscribe if you want to. But yeah, so overall, I think that's all I want to say for this video. It's been a very smooth process in slowly learning new techniques, but I definitely got a ways to go. But I'm glad other people are willing. If you've watched this far, I'm glad that you're willing to stick around and watch the process. It's been very hard, but it's been enjoyable at least. So I'm definitely not burning out, which is plenty of things that the comments have warned me of doing, and I'm very glad you guys are worried about that. But again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have, please leave a like if you'd like to, and if you would subscribe, it's up to you. But I would love to enjoy it for other people who just stick around, and it'd be very great to have more friends, obviously. Remember guys, I'm gonna warn you again, I just got back from the gym. Drink some water, make sure you have a good bit of water. I keep reminding you guys because I need reminders to drink water, so if I repeat it enough, then it will happen. Hopefully I will drink more water. It's really helpful. I'm constantly dehydrated because I always forget, especially when I'm drawing. I can go 2 to 3 hours of just staring at a Huion tablet, just sketching, and I lose track of time, and I end up like being completely like exhausted and dehydrated. But yeah, take good care guys, have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later, very soon actually, so bye bye.